Okay, so now we're going to look at the Ruby chart. You can go ahead and mute yourselves too if you want. I'm not sure how to mute. Okay, so let's look at the Ruby chart, and I'm going to hopefully explain all of this to where you understand exactly what you need to go Ruby. So if you look at here, Ruby is an average of $5.99 a month, and the requirement is 1 executive and 2 qualified legs. And then it says your earning from your team's activity is you're going to get 15% on your personal enrollment, because you get 10% because they're on your top line. You get 5% because it's a personal enrollment bonus. So you get 15% total. You get 10% on your first 2 levels and 5% on your third and fourth. If that just totally confused you, don't worry about it. I'm not one of those people who needs to know any of that, but some people do like to know that. So you get 15% on your personal enrollments, customers and distributors, and then you get 10% on your top line and your second line, and then 5% on your third and fourth, okay? So it says, you know, the requirements is 1 executive and 2 qualified legs. An executive, we know, is this right here. So you have 1 executive. So an executive is a person. So that would be, you know, you if you were the executive, and then you would have 2 distributors under you, and they'd each have 400 GV. So let's talk about what GV versus PBV is, okay? So PBV stands for personal business volume, and GV stands for group volume. So PBV is just your personal enrollments, your personal customers that you keep. Now, if you enroll a customer and you move them to a different distributor or whatever, that does not count as your PBV anymore, because you did not keep that customer, you moved it. So you have personal business volume, and that's all that includes. So just your personal customers. Group volume includes you, your orders, your auto shipments, your distributors, their auto shipments, their retail and loyal customers, and their distributors, their auto shipments, their retail and loyal customers, all of that stuff. So in my group volume, all of your auto shipments are included, all of your orders are included, all of your customers are included, all in my group volume. So typically, if you have a distributor underneath you, your group volume will be higher than your personal business volume. So that's why it's really cool that it's 400 group volume that you need, not 400 personal business volume. So that means that if they're running their ADBD auto shipment, then they only need 320 in orders to equal 400. So that's a whole lot less customers that you've got to sign if you're running the auto shipment. That's why it's important for your personal promotions to teach your team how important auto shipments are, so they can be using the products, they can be using, you know, having their own personal testimony, they can be commissions qualified, and it's easier for them to help you promote. It's easier for them to promote because they're going to be commissions qualified. So that's what an executive is, okay? And then it says you need 2 qualified legs. That just means that you have to have 2 legs, so 2 people, who are at 400 group volume. That's a qualified leg, okay? So this is a qualified leg, and this is a qualified leg. Now, to get to Ruby, okay, so this is you, this little circle is you. Say you have your mom, your best friend, and your neighbor. They all want to join you in this business. They all want to become distributors. The boxes that you see on any chart ever are never going to be customers. Boxes that you see on a chart are always, always, always going to be distributors, okay? So every box you see is a distributor. So your mom, best friend, and your neighbor are all distributors. They all decided they wanted to join you and share these products in this business with everyone. So they all join, okay? You're going to teach them to do the steps of success, just like you're doing. You're going to teach them to sign up 4 loyal customers and 3 new distributors every single month. And that's how your business is going to grow. So you teach them all to do that. You know, your best friend and your neighbor, they both get a couple customers each. And your mom signs up her best friend. And her best friend wants to become a distributor too. So her best friend is going to be underneath her. So she only needs 1 more person to be blocked in for executive, and then once that person's there, then you're blocked in for Ruby because you already had this top part filled because you've already signed up all those people. So now let's say that your mom can't find anybody else, she's having trouble, or you just sign up another distributor that same week and you're like, oh, okay, well, what do I do with this distributor? Well, according to your chart, this box still needs to be filled in right here because you don't have anybody there. So you can take that distributor that you just signed and move that distributor to underneath your mom, and it can be your coworker. And so now you are fully boxed in for Ruby, and your mom is now boxed in for executive. So now for you to promote, okay, so now you're boxed in. So to promote and actually be a Ruby, and for her to actually be an executive, here's what you need. Your mom, because she's an executive, she's in a promoting position, she just needs to be commissions qualified. So she either needs 150 personal bonus volume, or she needs her 80 BB auto shipment to be running, okay? That's all that she needs. She doesn't have to have 400. If she does, that's awesome, but she does not have to. Your best friend needs 400 GV, so that's the group volume. That includes her auto shipment. If she has a distributor underneath her, it includes all of that, every volume from that whole entire girl down. Then you have your neighbor. So your neighbor is going to have 400 group volume as well, because they're both qualified legs, remember, and that's 400 GV. Then your mom to be an executive. Both of those people under her need 400 group volume as well, okay, because an executive is just 2 qualified legs, which is 400. So to do that, if you're completing the steps of success, then you can do that easily in a month or 2. I've seen people do that in like a few weeks. Like I told you earlier, it took me 2.5 months to do it. So that would have gotten me the Ruby bonus had there been one, but there wasn't one. So I know that it's doable. It's kind of confusing at first, so go ahead and unmute yourself, and if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask. Like, do y'all have any questions about group volume? Like, do you have any questions about moving customers or moving distributors, or like how to get 400 group volume? Or if y'all have any questions, now would be the perfect time, because I bet if you have a question, a lot of other people in this group chat or this Zoom have the same question. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask. All of that made sense? Okay, because I was like super confused the first time somebody explained it to me. So seriously, not going to like think that you're weird if you have a question about it, because it is kind of confusing. Does everybody know how to move a customer, move a distributor? No? Okay. So there is a video that Susan Wade did. Actually, I have a video that I made too, because I was trying to move a customer for another distributor. And so I made a video while I was doing it to show what I was doing. But it's super simple. You go into your eSuite, and you go to Report, and then you go to Organization Explorer, and then there's going to be that little like side box over there, you know, where you can see your customers and your distributors. So there's that little like search bar. So if you have like a lot of people, so you can go in and search. So let's say, you know, you're going to go move your coworker to under your mom. Okay, so you're going to go type in your mom's name, and you're going to get her distributor ID, and you're going to copy and paste. Is what I always do. So I copy and paste that distributor ID, okay? Then I go from the Organization Explorer to the little scroll bar. You go to Personally Enrolled Team, you click the little down arrow, click Move, and then put that distributor ID in there. Just paste it in there, and then it'll like tell you like where, like it'll verify the placement to make sure you're moving it to the right place. And then it'll be moved, and it does it automatically. So that's how you do that, and you have 24 hours to move somebody. Do not forget to move somebody. I've done that before, and I woke up in a panic. I was like, crap, I forgot to move somebody. Oh my gosh, it's over that 24-hour mark. So I always try to do it in like 12 hours. Like, I just don't give myself the full 24, because you never know what might happen. So anyway, just know that you can move people. If you have any questions when that time comes, more than happy to help you. You can move customers and you can move distributors. So if you sign up a bunch of customers and your best friend is not signing up a lot of customers, so she doesn't have 400 group volume, and you're trying to go Ruby, you can move a lot of customers to her. There's no minimum amount that you can, or maximum amount that you can move. It's however many you want. But just keep into account that if you do move them, you're not going to get paid off them as much because you're not going to get that extra 5%. But it's worth it to go Ruby. So definitely move people. I always move customers and I always move distributors. Okay, let's see. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about the steps of success or anything? No? Okay, perfect. Okay, so we'll just move on. That was like the longest part. So the rest of it's just like little tips that I have for you, just stuff that I did. So what to send to new loyal customers. I posted this in the Diamonds Are Forever, the Team No Excuses chat. And it's super, super important, y'all. If y'all are taking notes, go ahead and write this down. It's so important to keep up with your loyal customers and to make sure that you don't just sign them up and leave them, because you want to make sure that they are getting what they need, that they are loving their results, that they're loving their products, and that you want to keep them and maintain them as a customer for longer than 3 months. Because if you're having a turnover every single 3 months, then you're going to have to sign up loyal customers like crazy if you can't get them on for longer than 3 months. Obviously, there are people that are going to quit after 3 months no matter what you do. But there's some that if you take the time to message them, they'll see that you really care about them and they'll be happy to order from you more. And you can tell them about more products and stuff. So what I typically do is I sign up a customer, okay? So I have a planner that I use. And so let's say today is the 22nd. So I sign up a customer. So in 2 days, so on Wednesday the 24th, I'm going to I'm gonna write their name down right now. On that day, I'm gonna write down, John Smith, and then I'll put thanks next to it. So I'll know that on that day I have to tell him thank you, and like I'll send him this little text. And what I have is something written down in my notes already, and it's just a text that says, hey, thank you so much for, I just want to shoot you a quick text saying thank you so much for, your order and for choosing me as your rep. And then I tell them a little bit about the loyal customer program, because I try to keep it really simple whenever they're signing up. I don't mention the perks points that we have. I don't mention the free shipping that they get unless they ask, or if I feel like I need to tell them those things to try to, seal the deal. Typically, I just keep it super simple. So I want them to know about the free shipping. I want them to know about the perks points and the free products they can earn. And so I have this message that I send them, and it's just telling them about the perks points, tells them about the free shipping, how they can earn it, that they, can, cancel their auto shipment after the 3 months. If they choose to do that, they will have to go in and do that themselves, because it will keep sending the same products over and over, until they stop it. It's not going to stop it automatically after the 3 months. And then I tell them on the 4th month, if they continue, there's blah, 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 like all this, different stuff that they're going to get, starting with free shipping and all this like extra perks points and everything. So I give them all that information. They're usually like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And then whenever I send them that, they feel like we're friends. They feel like I can communicate with them and that they actually know that I care. So most of the time I get pictures of people with like a selfie with girls in their hair, skin, and nails. And they're like, oh my gosh, look, I got my hair, skin, and nails. And hair, did I say that right? Hair, skin, and nails, whatever. They're like, oh my gosh, I got my stuff in today. And so I get to be excited with them. Like we get to talk, and then they'll tell me, like, the hair, skin, and nails really worked. I'm so excited. So it kind of opens up that line of communication. They feel like they can come to me about the products, that they're not going to bug me. So I do that after 2 days. And then in 2 weeks from the day, so it'll be 2 Mondays from now, I will message them and say, hey, did you get your products in? And sometimes they'll message me before that telling me that they already got them in. So I kind of try to remember that so I don't text them right after they told me that they already did. But I like to check in and say, did you get your products? Is everything going okay? Because about 2 weeks, they should have their products. And so then they'll be like, yeah, I did. I'm starting them. And I'm like, well, do you have any questions? And then at that point, they'll ask questions if they have any, or otherwise they'll just say, okay, well, let me know how it goes. Like, I'll be checking in later. And then I check in 2 months. And so I do 2 days, 2 weeks, and 2 months. And in the 2 months, I asked them, like, how are you loving your products? Like, whatever product that they got. And if they say, oh my gosh, like I love it, blah, 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 then I'll be like, have you ever considered joining my team to earn some extra money to sell the products that you just told me that you loved? And then I'll bring up the opportunity to them to become a distributor, because they are finished with their 3-month commitment, and they can become a distributor if they want to, or they can continue to get the products if they don't want to, and that's totally fine too. And so I just offer that opportunity to them at that 2-month mark. And then another thing that I've done with my customers, just because I have so many, I don't know if you want to do this with just like, 10 customers, but I have actually created a Facebook group for my loyal customers, and I've added them all to it. So every time I sign up a loyal customer, if it's through Instagram, which it usually is, I'll tell them, I'll give them my Facebook link, and I'll say, add me on Facebook. I'm going to add you to my loyal customer group. Then that way I can send them, anytime we have BOGO wraps, I'm posted on there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we have BOGO wraps. I'll usually post maybe once a week about the product of the week and ask people about their personal testimonies. That way, if somebody's been using, the hair, skin, and nails for a while, and they're like, well, I don't really need the hair, skin, and nails anymore, I'm just going to turn off my auto shipment. But then they may see a post that I make in that group that's like, oh, the greens, like you should get the greens because it gives you a lot of energy. And they're like, oh, well, I could just switch my auto shipment. So then it keeps people from turning off their auto shipment and maybe just switching to something different, because I'm giving them more options to show them what else there is. So anyways, that's just some ideas. I can probably post that thing that I do with my loyal customers again, because it's been a while, so it'd be too far to scroll up probably. But anyway, so make sure that you're talking to your loyal customers, staying in contact with them. That's super important. You can go to Dropbox on our Diamonds Are Forever page for compliant before and afters for product pricing, or you can find that on your website. How to throw a wrap party, that's on there too, or you can look up on YouTube. There's really great videos. There's order forms on the Diamonds Are Forever page Dropbox. So go look in that Dropbox and just look at the different titles of the different documents, and just see if there's one that stands out to you and you're like, oh, I'd really like to know that information. And then just browse through it. That's usually what I do, and it's got a lot of good stuff. And Susan and a lot of leaders have taken a lot of time to create that for us, and it's super helpful. So take advantage of it. If you're upline, which I think I am all of your upline, so I enrolled all of you, but if I'm not available right away to answer a question, because sometimes I'll be working out or I'll be doing God knows what, and I don't have my phone right with me, so ask Diamonds Are Forever if you have to need an answer right away, or ask the group chat, and hopefully somebody else will answer. And if you see, Paige, if you see that Macy posted a question and she has, she's asking about such and such, and you're like, oh, well, I know the answer, feel free to throw that out there. Don't feel like you have to not say anything because it's not me. So I don't have to answer all the questions. You all feel free to answer everybody's questions in there if you know the answer. And then I'll go back through and obviously just make sure it's right. And then if it isn't, that's great. But that's a way to help me so that I don't feel like I have to have my phone all the time and make sure that I'm answering everything, because it's hard to always stay on top of all of that. So if y'all need something right away and I'm not available, feel free to do that to get your answer really quick. Whenever I first started, another thing that I did was I went through Diamonds Are Forever, and I just scrolled through every night and just kind of looked at different questions people were asking. And they would ask about, are the greens gluten-free? And I would look on there and I'm like, oh, and I would look at the answers and I would know the answer to the question. And they would say, can the wraps be used on tattoos and stuff like that, and just questions that people would probably ask me but I don't know the answer to. And so I would scroll through there and I would look at the answers, and I would just do that a little bit every single night, and I learned a lot from that. That's why I know a lot of the answers to the questions that y'all ask me. Be a sponge, like I was talking about earlier. Just be on everything that you can be on. So every Zoom, be on every Zoom, every corporate call that they have. Tune into every corporate call. Every time Susan has a team Zoom, do it. Every time there's a call, every time there's a training, join those, because that's how you learn and that's how you stay inspired, because that's huge. If you feel like you're disconnected, if you're not ever in any of the team stuff, then you can feel very disconnected and you're not going to feel like you're a part of anything, and you can get very discouraged and down on yourself. So staying plugged in and staying connected is huge. I don't know what this note was for. It works. Instagram. Okay. So I have an Instagram training video. Like I told y'all that I have like 95% of my people who sign up for me are from Instagram. And so if you want to know how to work Instagram, I have a video on my YouTube. So go type in YouTube, just Morgan McIntyre, and then it says, like you can just type in like IG for Instagram, and it'll show you my Instagram training of how I work Instagram. And I made it a little bit ago, but it's still the exact same thing, and it's super efficient, it's super effective, and it works really, really well. So obviously what works for me may not work for you, but it could, and so it's worth a shot. It's worth trying. Find leaders and follow what they do. Go look on Susan's page and see who she tags in her pictures as her best friends, because a lot of them are top leaders, and you can go and follow their pages, friend them, whatever, and see what they do and see the posts that they make and kind of get ideas from them. Don't steal their posts, but get ideas from what they do, because they obviously know what they're doing. They're top income earners. Try not to be spammy. So don't post things that are ads that look like, join my team for $99, because that doesn't capture your friend's attention, and it looks like spam, and it doesn't look like you put a lot of time or effort into it. So a lot of selfies, a lot of, really good quality Pinterest pictures, things like that are the types of things that I post to get more likes than just like something that was like an ad. That's what I used to post whenever I first started, and people thought that my Instagram or my Facebook got hacked. They didn't think that it was me. So you want to be personal. Follow Pam Souder. Pam, and then her last name is Sowder. She is one of the founders of It Works, and she always has these like caught in the adventure posts, and so it's people that are doing, it's like inspirational stories of these other distributors who've changed their life, and so those will always keep you inspired too. Staying inspired is huge, because if you're not inspired, then you're not going to be motivated. If you're not motivated, then you're not going to work. So just go for it. Find your why, and your why needs to be strong. We always say that your why needs to make you cry, and it doesn't actually have to make you cry, but if it doesn't make you emotional, then it's not big enough. Last night during the corporate call, Mike Patillo, who is our chief sales officer, he told us they were all telling us to write down our goals. So I did that. And then Mike told us to say our goals. So to like record ourselves saying our goals. And I was like, that's cool. Like I've written down my goals a ton, because they've always told us to do that. And I was like, I've never even thought about like saying them, because then I can hear myself telling myself those goals. And y'all, last night I started crying while I was saying my goal, because one, it scared me because it was a big goal. Two, because I realized how much I needed that. Like I needed that to happen. And so my why is big, and that's why I fight as hard as I do. That's why I don't give up. That's why when 70 people tell me no, I don't care. I'm going to go find 70 people who say yes. Like, it doesn't matter if people tell me no, because my why is big enough to not care about the no's. Those don't make me want to give up, and that's how you've got to be. You can't just say, I want an extra $200 a month, and then expect to be, a ruby or a diamond or anything above that. Because if you say you're going to make $200, that's about as much as you're going to make. And whenever I first joined, I wanted $100. But as soon as I made that, then I had to expand my goal, because my goal was no longer $100. I had made that. So then I made it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And now it's huge, and it's like bigger than I ever would have imagined, especially whenever I first started. But if you don't have a reason why you need that money, if you just say it's $200, then that's not a big enough why. That's not going to get you to the top. That's not going to get you ruby. That's not going to get you diamond. You've got to figure out, if it's $200, cool. It doesn't have to be $2,000 a month. It can be $200. But why do you need that $200? Is it because you need food on the table? Is it because you want to have kids and you can't afford diapers with the job that you're working right now? Is it because you want to not be, tied down to this job that you hate? Is it because you can't work during college? I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, you've got to find out why you need that money, and that's your goal, to stop doing whatever that is, or to start being able to do this that you can't do right now. Don't stereotype people. We're almost finished, I promise. Don't stereotype people. That's something that I did whenever I first joined. I thought, so-and-so will never want to do this. They'll never be interested in this business. They'll never be interested in the products. And they were the very same people who were some of my first customers. And I had already written them off. I never reached out to them because I said that they wouldn't want to do this. So I stereotyped them, and that was not accurate at all. So with that being said, don't stereotype people. Reach out to everybody. It's not our job to decide who this business is for or who these products are for. It's our job to get the word out and to spread the word to everybody, and then they can decide if it's for them or not. And if it's not, then that's okay. If it is, then awesome, we're going to run with them. So don't be afraid to message somebody and ask if they'd be interested and be willing to help you. Y'all, today, it was the coolest thing ever, and I would so recommend for you to do this. A lot of you are brand new, so you may not have like a ton of people to talk to about this, but like I went through my potentials list, okay, because I write down every single name that I talk to. Every time somebody messages me about the products or the business, I write their name down. And I went through from February, March, and April today, all of my potential customers and all my potential distributors. I messaged them the same message, but I put their name in there. And I said, hey, I know we've talked before, so you were one of the first people that I thought of. As soon as I was thinking about, needing new product testers, you're one of the first people I thought of. It's the exact same message that I told y'all to send to your potential loyal customers whenever you first started the business, except I took the part about just starting my business out. So it was that message about wraps for this, greens detox for this, fat fighters. So I was like, which one would you want? And y'all, I have over 15 people ordering between today and Friday. 15 of them. So that means that I've talked to probably 100 people today, 200 people. I don't even know. I've talked to a crap ton of people today. And I got a lot of no's, but I got 15 yeses. And those 15 yeses could change my business. And I'm so excited about that. So don't ever be afraid to message people. Some of the people that I was like, I don't know, they haven't responded to my messages in like months. Like, I'm probably not going to message them. They were the people that I was like, I'm just going to message them anyways. And so I did, and they were one of the ones that responded. And they're like, yeah, I'd love to do that. So don't be afraid to do that. Confidence and consistency equals currency. So be confident, know the products, use the products, fake it till you make it. Pretend you're confident. You can pretend you're confident over social media. You don't actually have to be confident because you're not standing up in front of a bunch of people live. Just be confident. And confidence comes with this business. I've gotten so much more confidence since I started. Be consistent in your posting, in your talking to people, and your following up. That's huge. People want to see that you're serious, and they will see that you're serious by you being consistent. I've had people tell me that I'm like the first person they think of when they think of It Works, and it's because it's all they always see my posts. And so you want to be that person. You want to be the first person they think of. So if they need hair, skin, and nails, you're who they're coming to because you've been so consistent. Post like an ambassador right now. Post like a Ruby right now. And that just means bright pictures, shows that you're excited, and it shows that you are confident. That's what ambassadors do. That's what they are. They're confident and they're excited. You can be confident and excited too. So go ahead and post like them. You don't have to have a $50,000 a month paycheck to tell people about this business and how much it's changing your life. Tell people why you joined. If you're a mom and you're like, I joined to have more freedom for my kids so that I can stay home with them a little bit more, or so that I can afford to put them in a nice private school, or whatever your goal is. Tell people why you joined. So obviously those things probably haven't happened in the week that you've been in the company. You haven't been able to afford a private school tuition, but that's what you joined for. And so tell people, this company is going to do that for me, and claim it. Tell people that that's what it's going to do, and that's what you're working for. They want to see what you're doing and why you're doing it. And whenever they get behind your goal, they're going to get behind you, and they're going to help you. You attract what you put off. So if you put out negativity and you say like, I can't sign anybody, then you're right. You're not going to sign anybody, and you're being negative. And so only negative people are going to come to you anyway. So if you're saying, like, I have not signed very many customers this month, so I'm going to kick it into gear, and I'm going to work a little bit harder, and I'm going to sign some customers, and they're going to be awesome customers. They're going to get amazing products, and I'm going to get to help them. Then you're going to sign the customers. This month at the beginning was super slow for me. I was on a vacation at the beginning of this month. My family was in town. I made it a point to not work very much on that, during that time, because I worked so hard, so much, that I let myself have that time. to be able to hang out with them without my phone and whatever. But this month started off slower for me because of that. And so I was like, you know what? Instead of telling myself I'm not good at signing customers, I'm going to tell myself I'm amazing at signing customers. And so then I was. And I was able to sign up a lot more customers this month than I have in a while because I was being super positive and encouraging. And that's what came back to me. So put out, I mean, you attract what you put out. Don't listen to the haters. People are going to tell you that what you do is stupid. People are going to tell you that, you know, you're not going to ever make any money. People are going to tell you all this junk, but those are people are still people. And that means that in 5 years from now, they're still going to be stuck at the same job. They're still going to be stuck at the same, you know, with the same people. They're still going to be stuck broke. They're still people. So don't listen to still people. Don't listen to haters. Don't listen to what people tell you because you know what this business can do because you're in it because you see the vision. You see what this business has done for other people and what it's going to do for you. And they don't get it yet, and that's okay. Like, they don't have to get it, but they can be supportive. And if they're not, that's okay. You just have to distance yourself from those people because I've had to do that too. So just don't listen to the haters. Block them out. Put your blinders on and just run. Doesn't matter what they say. Doesn't matter what they think. So I believe in every single one of you. You've told me your goals. That's one of the first things that I ask when you join is what's your goal? What did you do this for? And you told me your goals and you told me how excited you are. And I believe in every single one of you. And I know that every single goal that all of you have told me will happen because you are working for it. You clearly want it because you're in this Zoom tonight. You're listening to this, you know, these tips. And if you take these and you work for it, it will happen. It won't happen by you wishing for it or you wanting it. You have to work for it. But when you do, you're going to get everything that you've dreamed of and more. So I'm super excited to be a part of this. I know that I'm not like a huge part of it, but I'm a little part of seeing like all of your lives change. And I'm so excited to be able to help you. And I'm here for all of you anytime you have questions. So feel free to reach out to me anytime. Blow my phone up. Text me every day. Ask me questions if you need to. That's totally fine. And most of you do text me every single day, and I love that because I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're working their business. Like that's how I know. And I love giving you tips. I'm never annoyed by that. So it's always so much fun. And I've met some of my best friends from this business because they're the people who text me every day. So never hesitate to reach out to me. And I just want to let y'all know before we end that I do believe in you and that I am so excited that y'all are on this team and that I get to be your leader and that I get to help you. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now.